viewers, welcome back today to DDM Health News Updates on another episode of Your Health, Your Wealth. This is a very beautiful program that tells you more about your health. As usual, viewers, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do it as soon as possible so that you don't miss a lot. What do we have today? The Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, has confirmed a total of 674 cases of Lassa fever and 127 related deaths across 18 states of the country as of April 6, 2025. This was disclosed in the agency's latest situation report on the outbreak, which showed that Taraba and Ondo states record the highest number of fatalities with 31 and 26 deaths, respectively. So sad. The case fatality rate, that is the CFR, currently stands at 18.8%, a slight increase from the 18.5% recorded within the same period in 2024. According to the NCDC, most of the confirmed cases were reported from Ondo, Bauchi, and Edo states, while individuals within the age bracket of 21 to 30 years remain the most affected demographic. Lassa fever, a viral hemophilic illness, is primarily transmitted to humans through contact with food or household items contaminated by urine or feces of infected rodents, especially the mastomys rats. The center also confirmed that no new health worker was infected in epidemiological week 14 of the year. A development is described as encouraging amidst ongoing surveillance and response efforts. In response to the outbreak, the NCDC noted that a multi-sectoral incident management center, that is the IMS, has been activated to coordinate all contaminated measures and strengthen nationwide preparedness and response activities. The agency continues to urge Nigerians to maintain proper hygiene. Please avoid contact with rodents, rats, and seek immediate medical attention when symptoms such as fever, headache, and general body weaknesses arises. Rats are dangerous. We don't call it anything, but it's something. So please, your health is your wealth. Next, the chairman of the Lagos State Council of the National Union of Road Transport Workers, NURTW, Mustapha Adio, popularly known as Tafasego, has vowed that justice will be served in the case involving a female driver, Yetunde Amole, who was physically assaulted by the suspected street thug in the Aja area of Lagos, that is by Aburus. This time around, they don't use our gender to play. They are going to find justice on it. Adio made this known on Monday during Amole's visit to the NURTW Secretariat in Okoba, Agege, where he condemned the attack and reassured the victim of the union's full support in seeking justice. Wow. Amole was reportedly assaulted by one Friday Onu, who allegedly attempted to steal her vehicle, that's her vehicle battery rather, before descending on her with physical violence. This time around, so for that woman, they go use to do anything. The incident, which drew public outrage, initially sparked fears that Assalent was a member of the transport union. However, the NURTW boss clarified that the suspect is not affiliated with the union in any capacity, describing him as a known street urchin. Wow. According to him, the union does not and will never condone such acts of violence, especially against women. Of course, we are strong ladies. We have a zero tolerance policy for harassment or any form of assault by anyone associated with us. We are being carried as egg, a yolk. The suspect, who was arrested by the police shortly after the incident, is currently receiving treatment at the Falomo Police Hospital. Adio commended the Lagos State Police Command for its prompt intervention and called for continued cooperation between the union and security agencies to rid the roles of criminal elements posing as union members. We are committed to sanitizing our ranks and ensuring that only responsible individuals represent the ideals of the union. Hmm. This incident is unfortunate, but we will follow it to a logical conclusion, Adio said. That's very thoughtful of you, Mr. Adio. Meanwhile, several rights groups and members of the public have continued to demand stiff punishment for the attacker, calling for stronger protection of women operating in the male-dominated transport sector. Wow, this time around, they know they carry our agenda play any longer. That's very grateful. We are grateful to you, to the government, and to the president for recognizing us, we women. You know, said before, they know they use anything concerning us. Up next, the Lagos State government has raised serious concern over the increasing health risks associated with the use of generators, revealing that no fewer than 30,000 residents die annually due to exposure to toxic fumes. This revelation was made by the Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Mr. Biodun Ogunleye, during the 2025 Lagos Energy Summit, which took place on Victoria Island. Ogunleye, who described the situation as dire and unsustainable, lamented that the over dependence on fossil fuel powered generators poses a major threat to public health and the environment as a whole. He stressed the need for urgent and coordinated action to reduce the state's reliance on generators. But if I may ask, can we survive without generators in this Nigeria? Lagos is grappling with a public health emergency and generator fumes are at the center of it. That was what the commissioner said. Well, recall that Punch Healthwise has previously reported several cases of Nigerians who lost their lives after inhaling generator fumes, particularly due to poor ventilation in enclosed spaces. Of course, it kills a lot of people, especially those with asthma. You can't imagine them inhaling that. Due to the country's epileptic power supply, many homes, businesses, markets, and small-scale enterprises in Lagos have resorted to the use of generators to meet their electricity needs. For Nigeria, we know they see light too. Maybe once in a month. Ogunleye revealed that Lagos alone is home to an estimated 4.5 million generators, which collectively consume about 16 billion liters of fuel annually. You can imagine that. With the current fuel price hovering around 900 naira per liter, Lagos residents are estimated to be spending roughly 14 trillion yearly on generator fuel. Can you imagine that? This widespread usage contributes about 38 million tons of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere every year. That's more than the emissions of entire countries like Togo, Rwanda, and Gabon. God help us, especially here in Nigeria that we can't survive without generator. According to IQ Air, Lagos currently has an average air quality index of 154 USAQI, placing it in the unhealthy category. In 2024, Nigeria was ranked that 11th most populated country in the world. Gosh, based on its annual PM 2.5 concentration. In Keystone's director address, that is in his Keystone, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu reaffirmed his administration's commitment to a cleaner, more sustainable energy future for Lagosians. No be to promise you, man, no talk, sha. He admitted that while efforts are ongoing, they remain fragmented and inefficient. Yes, we are generating electricity, but the way we are doing it is neither sustainable nor centralized, Sanwo-Olu stated. He said under the state's terms and development agenda, the government is rolling out a comprehensive energy transition plan aimed at building a 24-hour economy powered by reliable and renewable electricity. Okay, oh, we will hope on you now, Governor. Some of the initiatives, according to him, includes retrofitting 22,000 street lights to promote energy efficiency. Okay, oh, that's very good. 2. Implementation of the Lagos Electricity Law, signed into law in December 2024. 3. Launch of the Lagos Gas Master Plan and a strategic implementation plan. Is that right? And lastly, updates of the Integrated Resources Plan. Okay, sorry, this should be the last one. That's the development of a comprehensive electricity policy. Is that right? We are looking up to you, Governor Sanwo-Olu. These policies form part of the roadmap towards the Lagos Vision 2030, where access to clean, reliable, and affordable power becomes a reality for all residents. He added this. The governor further disclosed that 72% of households in the state own at least one generator. Haba, why will not go own generator one? Where do we see light? If there is no generator, you can't charge your phone. Why 94% of MSMEs and 76% of market clusters rely on them for their daily operations, which is true. These statistics speak volumes, Sanwo-Olu said. It shows just how urgent it is for us to pursue alternative and more sustainable sources of power. All right, the earlier, the better. He expressed optimism that the state is well on its way to becoming Africa's leading energy investment hub and a global model for sub-national energy transitions. We envision a Lagos where students can read without fear of blackouts, okay? Where artisans and entrepreneurs thrive, and where the air we breathe is safe. That was what the governor said. Let's look up to him. We pray he comes to the fulfillment of his promises. Well, listeners, finally, stakeholders have called on the Nigerian police force to stop treating cases of domestic violence, especially wife battering, as mere family issues, urging them to take appropriate legal action against perpetrators. No be small thing. Gender violence. The appeal was made during a maiden town hall meeting with custodians of culture held at the Ake Palace, Abeokuta, Ogun State, on Tuesday. The event, themed Strengthening Family and Community Bonds, was organized by Women Radio 91.7 FM with support from the Ford Foundation and the Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation. Is that right? Speaking at the forum, Alake of Ebaland, Oba Adedoto Badebu, described wife battering as a shameful act of cowardice and not a demonstration of masculinity. People they should say they gave Mozu. Well, he urged men to embrace patience and healthy conflict resolution in dealing with their wives and daughters. Of course, men often want to show say they get power where women dey, especially even their wife. You can imagine that. The monarch, while addressing the traditional custodians and participants, said women should be valued and treated with dignity, noting that they are the backbone of the family and society at large. Aww. Oba Badebo stated, any man who raises his hand to beat a woman is not demonstrating strength, but weakness. Our women deserve love, care, and respect. I'm part of the woman. In a community issued at the end of the event, the stakeholders condemned the growing trend of domestic violence and sexual abuse, urging security agencies, particularly the police, not to wave such cases aside under the guise of them be family matter. No, don't look at it that way. Get it treated. They also called for a reawakening of core family values with the establishment of community forums dedicated to resolving women related issues and promoting peaceful coexistence. The communique further recommended that any man who cannot guarantee the safety and dignity of women under his care should not contemplate marriage or fatherhood. Of course, you don't want it. It's true that we women we talk a lot, but you have to endure with us. It is also proposed a cultural sanction preventing known abusers of women and girls from being considered for chieftaincy titles or community leadership roles. In his remarks, the chairman of St. Ives Communications Limited, the parent company of Women Radio 91.7 FM, Dr. Babatunde Okewale, lamented the high incidence of abuse, neglect, and violence faced by women and girls across various communities in the countries. Seriously, it's not easy. I can imagine. Dr. Okewale said, as men, whether as fathers, brothers, husbands, or community leaders, we must take responsibility for rebuilding our homes and ensuring safe communities. What we are seeing today is not the heritage our forefathers left behind. Not be lie, oh, because back then I hardly hear say man raise hand beat woman. He noted that Nigeria's cultural heritage was originally rooted in discipline, mutual respect, and family protection, but one that harmful attitudes and practices that have crept into society must be urgently addressed for the sake of future generations. Of course, the town hall meeting drew participants from traditional institutions, women's rights groups, media practitioners, and youth advocates, all of whom pledged to work collaboratively to protect women and girls from all forms of violence. That's very interesting. So we are free from violence this time around. Men, hope say una dey hear. Well, like I said, finally, here we come to the end of our today's health news on our program. Your health is your wealth. Be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, That's Right Digital Media, for more news updates. Do have a lovely and wonderful day. I remain Nyenyoro Michael Inezini. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.